A car is made up of numerous systems and thousands of parts. The transmission system is one of the most important systems since without it, the power generated from the engine won't reach the wheels. The transmission allows the engine to operate in its narrow range of speeds while providing a wide range of output speeds. Without it, vehicles would just have one gear ratio, and it would be very difficult to drive. The transmission system uses gears to be more effective in using the torque and to keep the engine operating at the right speed.
The transmission system helps transmit mechanical power from the engine to give kinetic energy to the wheels. It's made up of gears, shafts, and other electrical gadgets that interconnect and form a bridge in order to transfer power and energy from the engine to the wheels. The system also assists in the maintenance of cruising speed of the vehicle. Using gear ratios, the transmission or gearbox provides speed and torque conversions to another device. It reduces the higher engine speed to the lower wheel speed, and as a result, torque is increased. The multiple gear ratios or gears are being switched as the speed varies. This switching may be done manually by the driver or automatically. The transmission is connected to the crankshaft of the engine. The output is transmitted via the driveshaft to one or more differentials, which powers the wheels. The common transmission systems used are manual, automatic, and continuously variable transmission or CVT. The manual transmission system is the first transmission system developed. In this system, the driver needs to disengage the clutch to disconnect the power from the engine first, then select the desired gear, and after, engage the clutch to perform the gear change. It's also called the stick-shift transmission because the driver needs to use the transmission stick in changing the gears. When shifting gears, the gear selector fork moves forward or backward to move the collar to engage it to the target gear. The collar connects to the wheels while the gears are driven by the engine. To engage the collar to the gear, the power from the engine is temporarily removed, so the gear will lose the driving force so that both the gear and collar can be engaged without grinding due to different spin speeds. Do note that the collar and gear still have different spinning speeds due to the gear ratio change when shifting. This is where the synchronizer comes in. It is added to the collar to synchronize the spinning speeds between the collar and gears to make them engage smoothly. It is composed of frictional materials. It will touch the gear first and use friction force to drive the gear to spin at the same speed as the collar. The clutch is used to temporarily disconnect power from the engine. It lifts the pressure pad so the driven pad or clutch plate is disengaged from the flywheel when the thrust pad is pushed. The flywheel is connected to the gears of the transmission system and it will stop spinning. On the other hand, when the thrust pad is released, the spinning pushes the driven pad back to engage the flywheel and drives it to spin. The driven pad, like the synchronizer, is made up of frictional materials in order to use friction to drive the flywheel spinning. Over time, the pads do become thinner and will need to be replaced. The life of the pad depends on the driver's skill and how well maintained the clutch is.
That's how important the transmission system is in a vehicle. I hope you enjoyed the overview of the transmission system, particularly the manual system.